What's going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. And first off, we got to start off with some sad news. Is that Mr. Lance Reddick has recently just passed at the age of 60 at a very young age. You guys might know him from the clear acclaim series The Wire, and of course the John Wick series. So man, we don't know what caused the death just yet, but my condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Reddick, and we will be surely be missed. And then hopefully, I want to see if they're gonna do a little special message or tribute to Mr. Lance Reddick at the end of John Wick Chapter 4. I don't know. And even though the movie hasn't come out yet, and even if they do, if they want to do Chapter 5, who's going to replace his role? But we don't know yet. But yeah, he's one of the great actors, and he will surely be missed. So yeah, but we had to start out with that sad news there. But other than that, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Oscars that just happened, other mainstream news, and a movie review. So let's get straight on to the Oscars. So yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once led the ceremony with 11 nominations and 7 wins, including Best Picture. The other winners include All Quiet on the West Front with 4 awards, and The Whale with 2. Top Gun Maverick, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Avatar The Way of Water, Woman Talking, Triple RR, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Neverland each won 1. Short film winners include The Irish Goodbye, The Boy, The Mole, The Fox and the Horse, and The Elephant of the Whisperers. And with that, I had to say this has to be the one of the best Oscars in years since the pandemic, and no controversy this year. This time, no slaps this year, so that was a good thing. So yeah. And of course, Jimmy Kimmel was the host of that, so everyone had a pretty good time at the Oscars this year. So yeah, this is a pretty good Oscars this year, and congratulations to all the nominees and winners of this year. And so with that, let's move on to our mainstream news. Dwayne The Rock Johnson talked about being removed from the Black Adam and DC. So this is what he commented on during the Oscars when they asked him this question. And he said, and I quote, "All that I could do and that we could do when we were making Black Adam was put our best foot forward, surrounding ourselves with the best people, and then also deliver the best movie we could. Our audience score was in the 90s. Critics took a couple of shots. That was just the business I thought of it. But I think it was almost when you have a pro football team and your quarterback wins championships. The head coach wins championships, and then you have a new owner. A new owner comes in and says, not my coach, not my quarterback. I'm going with somebody new." Yeah. And then he also commented on when trying to bring back Harry Cavill as well. So The Rock understands from that. He's not bitter by anything. So that they did the movie, and it was and the audience liked it. And as long as you proud of the work that you've done, that's all there is to it. So that's much I can say. But that's much I can say. Okay, moving on. Continue on with the Oscars. The Oscar rating gone up again. Said it was the most watched award show in 3 years. And this is coming from CNN Entertainment. The Oscar rating reversed a fierce zombie invasion in form of the season finale hit show, The Last of Us. In case y'all know, the one of the episodes of Last of Us premiered at the same time as during the Oscars. So to post it a second straight or over a year improvement and gaining some more audience loss in views during the pandemic. The 95th Annual Academy Awards averaged 18.7 million viewers per Nielsen Delta, a 12% boost compared to last year, and the biggest audience for any awards in 3 years. While they are still low in history terms, given the overall essence of linear TV viewings, such as gains, are surely welcome to host the network ABC and the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science, which present the awards. The Oscars sank into a record low audience of 10.5 million viewers in 2021, aiming to across the board, crashing with award shows rating. Last year's telecast rebound by nearly 60%, which marks the second worst TV numbers in show history. Oscars rating has already been trending downwards before the coronavirus shut theaters, attracting 23.6 million viewers in 2020, when the South Korean film Parasite earned its historic Best Picture victory. Having once floored with the introduction of a popular film category to spur interest, the Academy has been hopeful that an improved box office results and nomination of two genuine blockbusters, which includes Avatar: The Way of Water and Top Gun: Maverick, will help the excite more viewers back to the broadcast. Let's see if in next year's will be good as this one. Well, but we'll see. All right, now moving on. So we recently had a notice that the Willow series was canceled. This is coming from the fourth source, but I had another source saying it wasn't canceled after all, says the showrunner, and this is what the showrunner said. Truth is less splashy, but here it is. A decision was made last week to release our main cast from the other series opportunities that may arise from them in the coming year, with all the TVs and movies in production around the world. It seems unfair to limit actor availability without a clear sense of where you're going to need them again. It's for travelers and similar reality to those scripts has been working on would acquire just as many actors from our first season. There who is no such credible holds exist. Nothing prevents Adam and David, such for example, from taking another show, but you better believe Midget appears in every single volume 2 chapter. If you're asked what this means for you as a viewer or me as a creator, here's what I think it means. Due to the force of much larger and much richer things I would ever pretend to fully understand, the production of streaming shows is slowly across the entire industry, and Willow won't resume in the next 12 months. This is very interesting. I don't know where are they going with this. We'll have to wait to see what Lucasfilm is it gonna do. Is it really canceled? Or are they gonna really go bring back another one? We don't know. So there's a lot of decisions on the reins over there. But moving on. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is eyeing Andrew Garfield and Oscar Isaac, and also Mia Gotham to star in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix. So that's a huge thrill there. So I'm excited to see. But I wanted to see who's going to be playing Frankenstein and who's going to be playing the creator. I don't know. But it looks very interesting. But moving on. Vanessa Hudgens will return for Bad Boys 4. Yes. So, let's read what Joe Block had to say. Bad Boys 4 is pulling out all the stops by inviting fan-favorite characters back to the franchise for another action-packed thrill ride. According to Deadline, Vanessa Hudgens will reprise her role as Kelly in the sequel starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence confirmed Bad Boys 4 is happening through an Instagram post in January. Bad Boys 4 is in pre-production at Sony Pictures, with Bad Boys for Life directors Albert and Bal Ferreira returning to shoot the sequel. Plot details remain a mystery. However, Chris Benford from Man Toronto, the Reading winger, who also wrote Bad Boys for Life, is also writing the scripts, and the cameras we will begin to roll, and production will begin in the coming months. So in case y'all already know, I did Bad Boys for Life. I worked on production, so I'm waiting to see when they come to Miami, so we can get all of our Miami filmmakers and all our crew back together once again to shoot this film. So I'll be waiting for that. Zachary Levi discussed his possible future in the DC in DC under James Gunn. So this is what he said. It all comes down to what people want. We made a great movie and really am proud of this movie. I hope everyone goes see it. I hope they tell their friends and family that all I can do. I can show up and be the best Shazam what I can be. And then he also said this. When it comes to his future in DC under the new management, he said, "Trust me, wherever they say we want you to be Shazam in this thing, I like to be great and do that. I know that P.S. Afar, who I know for years, who no longer, and also James Gunn, who I no longer, are really excellent leaders, and I trust her though whatever they got planned." So I will talk about my thoughts on Shazam 2 Free Young Gods in my review of that later on, and what I think what's going to happen with Zach Levi and his future with DC, and also playing as Shazam. But moving on, details on a final film for Quentin Tarantino entitled "The Movie Critic." So this is coming from a Hollywood Reporter. It is possible that the story will focus on Pauline Kael, one of the most influential movie critics of all time. Kael, who died in 2001, was not just a critic, but also an essayist and novelist. She was known as her perennial fights with editors as well as filmmakers. In the late 1970s, Kael had a very brief tension working with a console for Paramount, a position she accepted for the on the behest of actor William Betty. The timing of that Paramount job seems inclusive to the setting of the script, and the filmmaker knows how to have a deep respect for Kael, making it the odds of her being the subject for the film most likely. So this looks kind of interesting. So and now I can't wait to see who Quentin Tarantino casts for the upcoming roles. So moving on, Evil Dead Rise first reaction says total gore fest and kick ass. So let's read some of the tweets. This is from Andrew J. Server from SW. And he says, Evil Dead Rise carries Sam Raimi's script while still bringing fresh ideas to the table. The kills kick ass, and it's going to even shock even the most to the delight fans. It's not a comedian as the previous films, and sticks to its harsh tone and make it stand out to the franchise. Pretty good itchy there. Let's read from Kevin Lee, also from SSNW, says, Holy mother of hell. Evil Dead Rise is nasty and good as fuck. It literally continues the style and tone of the 2003 remake. While offers said neat twist, Lee Corona is a directory force to be reckoned with. It is Lee Savalon and Ashley Sledder who leads the cast to a Carnage circus. That's a good one. This one comes from Pauline, says, Evil Dead Rise, it's been a minute since a total gore fest like this was dropped in theaters. Catch on over it, grimy and mean as hell. This is a new entry and it is a crowd pleaser. Then that gets straight into the violence. Will 100% make you wins at parts. So that I think he meant like, or like, ooh, make you like, ooh, or just make you want to look away. So I think that's what that means. I think so. Pretty good review there. So next one comes from Jack Zane, says, "Mothers with maggots now? Every single Evil Dead movie is a banger, and tradition continues with Evil Dead Rise. A barn with sisters shredded by a disgusting whirlpool of deadly guts and gore brought out the entire house down at SSNW. Very interesting there. Um, this one comes from Eric Espedin, and he says, Evil Dead Rise is ramped. The tone falls somewhat in between the 2013 remake and Evil Dead 2. So there is much gore and even more child endangerment. Also, there is a nod to The Shining. That had me applauding on my seat. Don't miss it. Very good. Very interesting there. Reference The Shining. And then another one says, Evil Dead Rise is a total smudge gore of gore. Possessions, laugh, and style that makes you want to come to expect. It is more in just to the 2013 remake, and I dig it. And that was from Marshall Rawls at SLW. So the critics are looking good, and this get me excited for that. So but I will not see it on April 20th on 420. I will not. I'll see it on that Friday when it really comes out everywhere on April 21st. But I'm not seeing it on 420. No way. Not happening. All right, moving on. Superman Legacy land its director. And guess who it is? Come on. I'll give you a minute. Gave up? It's James Gunn. So this is coming from Hollywood Reporter, says James Gunn is officially making Superman Legacy his next directorial vehicle. Gunn has been writing the feature since before he came to the co-head of DC Studios in November. It was widely expected that he would direct. Throughout, it was unclear given his duties to oversee the expansion DC slate with partner Peter Safran. Superman Legacy will be the first big screen feature of the Gunn and Safran era. Warner Brothers has the project date for July 11, 2025. So, yeah. So I'm still excited, and we're still wondering who's going to be Superman. That's what we're waiting for. Hope to see. And moving on, continuing with DC. Ben Affleck says he won't be directing a DC film, and this is what he said. I was going to direct a Batman and a Justice League film. Made me go say, I'm out. I will never want to do any of this again. I'm not suited. That was one of the worst experiences I had ever seen in business, which was full of shitty experiences. Which he was talking about the DC extended universe. So yeah, we already have our opinions on it. It was a complete mess for everywhere. So that's why I kind of I genuinely understand that his thoughts and opinion, because why? I mean, it's totally out of its relevance to try to direct a new era of DC a DC movie. So yeah, I kind of understand why he said that. So but yeah, the DC extended universe, it's closing soon. It's ending soon, y'all. So moving on, Aladdin star Melim Madison says Aladdin 2 may be dead. So he answered a question from that says, we still in get Aladdin 2? And he replied back, says, very unlikely at this point. I wonder DC going to be scrapping it off because of Will Smith. I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But they get a full confirmation. But and then lastly, Gladiator sequel adds Denzel Washington and Barry Cole Guinan. Sorry I pronounced your name, but We don't know what Denzel Washington is going to be playing, but we do know that Barry Cosi is expected to play Emperor Jeddah if the deal closes. So that's gonna be very, very interesting, and well, I want to see who else going to get cast in the Gladiator sequel as well. But that's all the mainstream news I got for you. Got for you guys today. So let's get into our movie review today, and that's on Shazam and Fury of the Gods, and it's once again directed by David Sandberg, who also directed the first one, and of course it stars Zachary Levi as Shazam, Asher Angel, Jack Gunzer, Rachel Gerson, Adam Brody, Ross Borland, Megan Good, Lucy Liu, Damien Hasser, and Helen Mirren. So in this sequel, Billy Batson, aka Shazam, and his foster siblings, who's also a Shazam as well, they fight the daughters of Atlantis. So how can I say this without spoiling? It felt like a Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and Chronicles of Narnia crossover in a DC movie. That's all how much I can say that about this. So was this a really bad movie? From an audience standpoint, no. But from a critic standpoint, I would rather I would choose the first one over this one, critically, because the first one had something that the second one has lost sight of, and I kind of felt that way from Wonder Woman as well. Like the first Wonder Woman was great, and then like it kind of fell off the cliff when they made the Wonder Woman in 1984. Then that's exactly how I feel with the Shazam sequel compared to the first one. But I wasn't bored at all of the sequel. It definitely that kept you going at times, but like I said before, they was still missing something that the first one had that it didn't like deliver into the sequel. But I will say this. We did see more of the superhero form of the kids in the sequel more than we did in the first one. I would say the only kid that had a lot of screen time in this was Freddy in this one. I think that was the only kid that had more screen time in this one because Freddy was trying to develop a relationship with one of the daughters of the Atlantis. So and then speaking of the daughters of Atlantis, Rachel Zandler, Lucy Liu, and Helen Mirren did really good as the daughter of Atlantis. But as far as them being the villains in this movie, like they was doing great in the first half of the movie, and then like in the second half, they kind of felt lackluster because like all three of them had like different motives of like what should happen in the world on Earth and what happened in their world. So there was a lot of the disagreements in there. So that's what kind of fell out there. And but yeah. Other than that, what else I can say? But do I expect Zachary Levi to return as Shazam? I don't know. That's up to James Gunn if he wants to bring him back. But yeah. Other than that, man, it was it was still a good movie for what it was. But I would still recommend the first one over this. But yeah, so I'm gonna give it a C grade for this, and there was there was a cameo. There was a lot of cameos in there, and if you didn't, but it might have kind of spoiled one cameo because if you've seen it in the TV spots on there that was one that could have been spoiled on there. But there was a lot of other cameos in there, especially in the very heartful scene during the climax, one that came in there, and then the other cameos came in the two post credit scenes. But yeah, other than that, I gave it a C grade. No, it was a okay DC film, but I'm wondering where does Shazam leads into the new into the new DCU? That's my question there. But other than that, folks, that's all I have for you guys today. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment what are your thoughts on everything I discussed today, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new videos are uploaded. And then, of course, if you're listening to Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast platform, don't forget to follow me there as well. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off, y'all. Peace.